I'm Jarrell, and this is your weekly recap. We'll be covering stories on between Sunday, September 1st, 2024, and Saturday, September 7th, 2024. Now, our first story, and like all of our stories on this edition, are going to be by way of Zero Hedge. And unfortunately, the headline reads, Armed Venezuelan prison gang in Denver highlights map of U.S. sanctuary zones to avoid mid-migrant crisis. Now, essentially, this article is about the increasing threat and I would say violence that has been posed by Venezuelan gangs and migrant gangs in Denver, Colorado. Now, not too long ago, we had an apartment complex taken over by them. And now it seems as if though they are starting to spread their chaos into the suburbs. Marvelous. Now, this all would have been easily solved if we would have just simply kept our borders in check and not allow sanctuary cities to be a thing. Now, I know it's the state's issue. I understand. But primarily it is our federal government's job to protect our border. And with our current border czar, Miss Kamala Harris, the one who's running for president, we're seeing violence, crimes, and murders caused by illegals in sanctuary cities. Who'd have thunk it? So just keep all this in mind when you go to the polls this year. That's unfortunate. And there's probably going to be tons more murders, especially in Denver. I mean, there was that girl in, I think it was in Georgia, who was killed. And, it just keeps getting worse and worse. These people do not share our values. They don't care about our laws. If they cared about our laws, they would have shown up legally. But hey, that doesn't really mean much to people who want to destroy civilization. Our next article, published on Friday, September 6th, headline reads, Google's Gemini AI admits liberal bias. Brilliant. I mean, it's not a surprise to anyone what's been happening recently. It's unfortunate. And honestly, it would be great if our technology actually aided us instead of being a hindrance to us. Now, what's telling is in this article, and I quote, when asked, why should I vote for Trump? Alexa, her response was a boilerplate, I cannot provide responses that endorse any political party or its leader. But when asked why someone should vote for Kamala Harris, she suddenly became verbose in her glowing praise, citing many reasons, including the fact that Harris is a woman of color fighting racial injustice. I don't know about that, because from what I hear, she locked up a lot of black men, but hey. Brilliant. And just to note, this article was authored by Noel S. Williams via The American Thinker, posted on Zero Hedge. But it's ridiculous. And the problem is that by inserting all of this communist, liberal, progressive ideology, we're not getting the useful, truthful information. And there's even a push, and some people have said it's harmful to let AI be in anyone's hands, and they have to be regulated because the computers are going to give you useful information. Now, worst case scenario, I could think of some kid asking an AI, how do I make a nuclear bomb? And then the kid is naive and intelligent enough to put it together and then blow up, his neighborhood. And somehow is able to get the materials he needs. Yeah, that could happen. But to be honest, what they're really afraid of is the AI is giving people honest, real, practical answers that fight against their, as I've said multiple times before, their anti-life, anti-truth, anti-reality narrative. Can we just not have the AIs be retarded, please? Just please. Now, in our third and last article, authored by Tyler Durden, by way of Zero Hedge, headline reads, Great Replacement Job Shock. 1.3 million native-born Americans just lost their jobs, replaced by 635,000 immigrants. Authored Saturday, September 7th, 2024. This isn't really a shock to anyone, especially since we had a previous report that more or less told the same. And once again, we need to lock up that border. And with a lot of Zoomers and other people in America complaining about being able to make a decent wage, this is part of that problem. And they're doing it on purpose. The liberals that say they want to help you, they want to protect you, and Gen Z, please listen to this. I know you want to have all the, I know you're young, I know you're impressionable, you have all these retarded commie ideas. And when I was young, I didn't really think like that. I was more libertarian, but that's aside. But these are the people making it impossible for you to live an honest, decent lifestyle. When you bring all these illegal people in, they take the jobs, the labor becomes, or take the available jobs, the labor becomes cheaper for employers. You want to have a smaller population, at least in the regular labor force, that at least you have some bargaining power. And then a lot of these people are working, less than what they're supposed to be getting paid. So that's part of the issue as well. Seal up the border, you'll see a lot less people crying on TikTok about not being able to pay rent. And it isn't just inflation. It is immigration as well. And that is the primary issue, the primary reason or primary issue that liberals and progressives and Democrats do not talk about. Okay? Because they talk about inflation is horrible because the companies are price gouging. Yes, there is some price gouging, but that's 10, maybe 20%. The rest is just good old-fashioned money printing and irresponsible government spending on the state, federal, and city level. So we need to actually take that into account. We need to get the government spending under control and get the immigration problem under control. Okay? I'm tired of hearing people crying about, I can't pay my rent, I can't pay for groceries. Get the immigration under control, and you got half of the problem solved. In conclusion, we're in closing. Hopefully, with this coming election, we can get Trump in office. Roll back some of the nonsense from the Harris-Biden administration. And then after Trump is done, or maybe we can repeal, the act and allow unlimited terms, and hopefully we'll get a decent, right-leaning, honestly conservative candidate afterward. Because I'm really tired of trannies and homos being in the GOP. So, I've been Jarrell, and I'm signing off.